In this video, we'll take a look at the clip play modes. There's actually two of these, a clip play poly mode and a clip play mono mode. Both of these allow you to play and manipulate clips in various ways. The primary difference between the two is that the poly mode allows you to work with 8 clips at a time, whereas the mono mode allows you to work with just 1 clip at a time. For the most part, the functionality in these modes is very similar, so we'll take a look at it with the mono mode as it's a bit easier to see what's going on there. First, you have clip chopping, and here the buttons will be assigned to evenly distributed start points based on the length of the clip. For clips that are looping, just a portion of the clip within the loop race will be taken into account. For clips that aren't looping, the entire clip will be taken into account. Pressing a button that's assigned to clip chopping will move the clip start marker and relaunch the clip. Now, of course, this involves quantization, so you can select the quantization to use with the upper 4 side buttons here. You can select anywhere from a quarter note down to a 30-second note. To give you an example of how this works, I'll play a clip all the way through, and then the second time around, I'll chop it up a little bit. Next, you have clip loop control, and this is somewhat similar to clip chopping. The buttons will be assigned to evenly distributed loop start positions and lengths. So these allow you to move the loop around and change its position. And this supports multiple button presses to allow different lengths to be set. Now, as I mentioned before, for clips that are looping, the clip chop controls will just apply to the portion of the clip within the loop. To give you an example of that, I'll set this clip's loop to just the first half of the clip, and now I'll just be chopping up the first half. The navigation buttons work the same as they do on the mode select page. This button here will toggle the playing state of the clip. By default, this will use quantization. When Shift is pressed, it'll launch or stop the clip immediately. This button will toggle the clip's loop. When Shift is pressed, it'll reset the clip's loop. And this button here will switch to chromatic clip play, where you can play clips chromatically. The upper half of the matrix plays ascending pitches, and the lower half plays descending pitches. You also have a legato option here, which allows for legato clip launching. In clip play poly mode, you can control 8 clips at a time. The clips you'll control are the clips that are playing on the 8 tracks that are currently being controlled. You can select the clips to control by pressing the select button. This will switch to a page that works like session mode, so you can use the matrix to launch clips and the side buttons to launch scenes. You can exit this page by pressing select again. By default, the matrix will be assigned to clip chopping. Each column of buttons controls 1 clip, and alternating colors are used so that you can differentiate between clips. This button here will switch to clip loop control. And here again, each column of buttons controls a clip, and alternating colors are used. The navigation controls work just like they do in session mode. The upper 4 side buttons select the quantization to use just like in the clip play mono mode. When this button is pressed, the adjacent buttons in the matrix can be used for stopping clips. And when this button is pressed, the adjacent matrix buttons can be used for toggling clip loops on and off. Both of the clip play modes also have a realign function. This allows you to realign clips that have fallen out of sync. You access this function by holding down delete and pressing one of the chop buttons. To give you an example of this, I'll intentionally throw one of these clips out of sync and then realign it.